I'm really angry here. Who hid the camera in my home? Okay, because that was a private thing, and I said to my wife, "No one will ever see this. I'm going to be in such trouble when I get home." Now, that was what they call a party, apparently. I don't know if you read this article, but there was something called a Pimps and Hoes party. Now, when I was growing up in Britain, it was called tarts and vicars, and girls would dress up as sort of, provocative way, whorish, I don't know. And the guys would dress up as bishops or vicars. I mean, it was just fun. It was completely harmless. But this is something different. Now, Tanaya Fiello, who's been on the show before, is a former madam prostitute. She now has an organisation called Save the Women Foundation. And she's joined by a club owner, Saverio Loria, from Status nightclub out in BC. Welcome to the two of you.
Hi, thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. Now, this party was going to take place at your club, sir. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Tomorrow night, Thursday, April 17th.
Okay, now, whores and pimps, I assume it was so that people would dress up in fancy dress and costume of a rather provocative manner.
Yes, it was just to be a costume party for a one-time thing. It's never been done before, and that's all it was.
Right.
And we just decided to change the name of it.
Okay, so I mean, it wasn't about prostitution. It wasn't about people selling themselves.
No, not whatsoever.
It was having fun.
And anybody.
Yeah. Well, my reaction is, no big deal, so what? But Tanaya, you got very upset at this?
Well, no, it's not that I was upset about it. Sav has actually been a friend of mine for many years, so he was on my Facebook, and I had noticed the advertisement coming through on my news feed on my Facebook, and there was a big advertisement that had said, Pimps and Hoes Party. Yeah. And I said, well, wait, what's going on with this? So I contacted Sav, and I was actually made aware also through the promoter that this is something quite often that a lot of the nightclubs are doing.
Yeah.
Is they're promoting.
What's wrong with it, though? Tanaya, what's wrong with it?
Well, what I think is wrong with it is, what I had explained to Saverio, which it essentially made him change the name of the party because he didn't want to be a part of promoting this type of thing, is, let's say, for example, people are, they're just thinking they're having fun, they're dressing up in elaborate pimp costumes, and they're dressing up as pimps and hoes. Yeah. But let's say they're all dressed up in their costumes and they're walking down the street at night and they're going to that nightclub, and they pass a girl that is covered in bruises, that has just got the beat down from her pimp, and he's put her out that night in the rain and forced her to go to work. Would the people wearing these costumes then think that this party is funny to wear this type of thing?
Yeah, I do. No, if I may, because I think that, honestly, I think this is ridiculous. Look, people dress up at Halloween in the most macabre, grotesque costumes. It doesn't mean they believe in serial killing. I mean, you have to have a sense of humour. If this was promoting prostitution, if it was promoting living off immoral earnings, that would be one thing. But it was a bit of fun. Do you honestly believe you're going to prevent prostitution and pimping by having the party? And what have you changed the name to? Is it liberal and conservative? What is the name now?
We haven't changed the name to anything because it's such short notice. The event is tomorrow at Status Nightclub, and we have not changed the name. The event will still go on. If someone comes in a costume, we're not turning them away.
Very big of you.
But we're not promoting it as a pimp and hoe night anymore.
So let me ask you, sir, when you had this idea, was there malice in mind? I mean, did you think you wanted to belittle people, or did you just think it was a bit of fun?
It was just done like a costume party. Yeah. It was just a one-time event. A lady named Chelsea Grubbins from Worth's Entertainment works for me 2 to 3 times a year, and she chooses a night and comes up with an event. And she sent me she tagged me in it on Sunday. And I promoted it on Monday, and that's when Tanaya got a hold of it. And,
guys,
it's not even on our website.
That doesn't matter. I just don't understand what the problem is here. I have all sorts of issues with prostitution. I have problems with immorality, but I don't have a problem with people having fun, adults who volunteer to go and pay money and have some fun at a party and dress up a bit. I don't understand what the damage is being done.
Well, there is no damage being done, and I mean, we are not against Saverio having the party. I had made a private phone call to Saverio, and basically what I was trying to help him understand is if together that we can unite and just say that maybe we could bring more awareness, hopefully, to other club owners and promoters about the whole title.
Why, though?
Well, because of the title that is Pimp and Hoe.
I know, but tonight we're not getting to the point. Why do you have a problem with it?
Well, I have a problem with it because, I mean, for example, not even a year and a half ago, I buried a girl that had hanged herself, and her her boyfriend was her pimp, and he took her to these pimp and hoe parties. And many of the pimps do take their girls to these types of parties to parade them around.
Tonight,
they
do. The first part of that was terrible. Any woman who's a victim and prostitutes herself and then takes her life, and that's appalling. You're telling me that suburban or middle-class parties where people dress up in a slightly provocative way, these are then patronized by pimps and hookers?
In nightclubs, yes. As a matter of fact, there are 2 girls that are in some of the promotional photographs that my organization is working with currently, and one of them is on suicide prevention at this time.
I've seen some of the videos of the parties, and I have to say, having seen prostitutes on the street, there seems to be very little resemblance between the 2 types of creature.
Right.
Well, like
I say, my point is that we basically do not want to draw attention to promote that being a pimp and a hoe is okay.
Okay.
That's the point
I don't think we are any more than dressing up as a zombie is really promoting zombieism. I do think, though, perhaps this has given the event tomorrow night a great deal of publicity, hasn't it?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I canceled the name of the event out of respect for her. Based on having spoken to her, and her point got to me.
Let me ask you, Saverio, will people still be dressed in a very provocative way and they'll be dancing around in a very sexual manner?
I think people will still be dressing up because that's what they're coming for, and some of the tickets that were sold.
And you'll continue to have evenings where that sort of thing goes on?
We will not be doing a pimp and hoe night again, but we do events all the time.
Yeah, so you'll still have the same sort of activity, but out of respect to Tanaa, you've changed the name.
Yes, we haven't come up with an actual name. We're just not promoting as that anymore. Just have respect for her, yes.
Appreciate the time. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.